Hi, I'm Rob Ketterling from River Valley Church, and today I want to talk to you about a life-giving leadership culture. Now, when I look at a life-giving leadership culture, here's something that I just want to say. I've got 12 points. I want to hit them quick, and you're going to see I'm trying to contrast them, what we believe and what we don't believe. Like, these are things that make a culture life-giving or not. And the first thing is, if we're going to be a life-giving leadership culture, if that's what you're going to live out in your place, in your sphere of responsibility, you're going to have to cheer for people's success. And one thing I've learned at River Valley, we cheer for your success. That means I am thinking win, win, win. That means in cheering for your success, we are right there from the get-go saying, we're going to invest in you, we're going to develop you, and we're going to expect to see a return. That's very different. A draining culture says, we're going to watch you, we're going to wait, and then we're going to reward you. No, that is not life-giving. In today's day and age, you have to be a culture that says, we're going to cheer on your success. And this is interesting from the Bible. When I read it, I see in Hebrews 12, it says, therefore, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, and these witnesses are like cheering us on to our success. I also see that Jesus was saying to his disciples, he said, whoever believes in me will do greater works than these. He's like, I'm cheering you on. Do more than that. Philippians 4, verse 5 from the Message translation says, celebrate God all day, every day. I mean, revel in him. Make it as clear as you can to all you meet that you're on their side, working with them and not against them. Help them see that the master is about to arrive. He could show up any minute. I love that. Hey, we're on your side. In a life-giving culture, we are cheering on your success. Here's another thing. We have a culture of trust. We have a culture of trust. If you're good enough to get on the team, then you're good enough to get in the team. What does that mean? We trust you. We have to trust you. We have to move faster, and we can't say like, well, distrust is how you come on board. We brought you on. We don't trust you, and you've got to earn it all. Hey, if we've said you're good enough to get on the team, you've earned our trust. Now, you can lose our trust. You can break the trust, but you have to start with, we trust you. We trust you that you are the right type of person to join our team, and that we want you to flourish and thrive and move forward. Too many people have that attitude of, again, prove yourself. We don't trust you. You'll earn. Man, if somebody's joining your team, they've earned your trust. Talk to kids that way, like, hey, you need to earn our trust. And even then, it's like, we trust you. You're going to lie to us, I'm sure, and we're going to punish you. But man, in a workplace culture, in a church, in a marketplace, you have got to say, we trust you. Good enough to get on the team, you get in the team, and you're part of us. Another one, the third one, we share information for the success of all. We keep information for the success of all, but we're willing to share it generously. I read this just the other day by General McChrystal. He has a book called Team of Teams, and he was talking about we had to share information quicker. He said we were fighting Al-Qaeda, and we thought the leadership will hold the information. And he realized if we didn't drive the information down deep and we didn't trust them with the information, we could never defeat the enemy we were facing. I'm telling you right now, in an organization, you can never defeat whatever you're trying to defeat if you hold information too tight. You got to trust them. You got to empower them. Treat them like they're adults. Now, you will sometimes keep things, but you're doing it for the good of the team, not for your good. Sometimes people hold information so that they're information brokers, and it's not really about that it's good for the team. It's good for them because it makes them the center of the universe, but you don't need that. You need information to go through the organization so people can make better decisions. And here's something that I've always thought. If things are good for me and it actually is favorable light on us, I don't care if it leaks. If it's bad, I want to control when it's released. If it's good, I don't even mind if people are talking about it and then talking about it and then talking about it, and then I release it and reinforce what they've been talking about, and then they think it's been going on all along. It's just my own philosophy on that. But we're going to be generous with the information. We're going to keep it when needed because it's good for the team, and we're going to share it with everybody else. Here's another thing. In a life-giving culture, we speak life. That's what we do. We speak life. What does that mean? We are going to be encouraging. We are going to be life-giving in our words, in our actions. We're going to only use criticism to build up and make people better. And I can tell you, just the other day, I pulled our worship team together. A bunch of new young worship leaders were leading. And I said, all right, come here, huddle up. I said, here's what I want to tell you. Here's how I wanted you to come into that chorus after I got done praying, and you should have done this. And one of them said, I was thinking that. I said, that was the right call. You should have done that and matched where I was praying. And I said, I'm telling you this so you get better. Y'all sound amazing. Your voice is incredible, by the way, whoever you are. And new person, I didn't know her. And I was just giving them instant, it was criticism, but it was to build them up. And I said, man, you guys are awesome. You're going to do better. And they relished it because they knew I was giving it from a heart that loved them. So we're going to be using criticism to build up. This critique, not criticism, critique, different. All right, but we're going to be life-giving. We're going to speak life, and we're not going to have shame leadership. Shame leadership is over and done with. We are going to tell people the hope that they can have, the good that's moving forward. We're going to use humor and watch out with sarcasm. Sarcasm to tear the flesh, to bite. We're going to watch out. You have to be super good at sarcasm to do it in a non-destructive way. It has to be a tight-knit group to be able to do that. So we're going to use humor, and we're going to be life-giving. We're going to bring lift. Proverbs 18:21 says, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. All right, fifth one. We promote, defer, and prefer. What does that mean? We are quick to pass off opportunity. We're quick to pass off the spotlight. We are going to promote. We're going to defer. If we think you can hold the stage, we want to give you the stage. If we get the credit, we're going to share the credit with you. We are going to be opening doors for people and opportunities and pushing people forward. So many people use doors of opportunity only for themselves. And they give the crumbs to whoever's left over. And they're like, well, you can have that junky one. If that's your type of leadership, if you open the door for yourself and not for anyone else, nobody wants to follow that anymore. Nobody wants to be a part of that. A life-giving leadership culture says, I'm going to open the door for everybody. I want everyone to flourish. I want everyone to do well. There's room for everyone on this platform. I love this. The other day, I used a sermon illustration in church, and it was a really good illustration about the Holy Spirit advocating for us. And I got it when I was on an airplane. I was reading a book, and Pastor Kirk Graham was next to me. And so I'm downloading with him this idea. Then he gives me an idea. Then I give him an idea back. And then I shared the illustration. People were like, that was great. I was like, I think it was Kirk that came up with it. And they're like, and he was like, no, it was you that came up. I was like, no, I think you did. He's like, well, okay, we did. I wasn't trying to say like, be quiet, Kirk. I came up with the illustration. I was more than willing to give the spotlight away, to give the credit away. I want to promote him. I want to defer. I want to prefer. That's the way we live, saying there's room for everybody on this platform. Coach Wooden, John Wooden, was a great coach at UCLA. He used to say to his team, when someone passes you the ball and you make a basket, look back to them and say thank you, like for giving you the assist. It's called an assist. And somebody said, Coach, how will we know that they're looking? He said, oh, they'll be looking. They'll be looking. Man, we're built to say, did you notice that I helped you? And we're built to share the credit. Man, share the credit. Say thank you. Give it away and watch what God does in bringing you to even bigger platforms. Proverbs 27:2 says, let someone else praise you and not your own mouth, an outsider and not your own lips. Romans 12:10 says, be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. That's what you do. That's what you do. All right, sixth one here. We care more about who you are than what you do. In a life-giving culture, we care more about who you are than what you do. Yes, we want you to do things, but you are a human being, not a human doing. You have a job to do. That's why you get paid. And hopefully you love your job and you wake up in the morning thinking, I get to do this today. I get to make a difference. I get to do this. If you don't, then I've always told people, if you're in that spot, you better make a lot of money. Because if you make a lot of money, then you could love the good that you get to do with a lot of money that you make from a job you don't like. But let's go back to you like your job. You love it, all right? And you get to do this. Man, we care about people. We want to help them. I tell our staff every year, you need to use your vacation up. We paid for a fresh you that used your vacation, that is refreshed and recharged. Use it up, and you won't have any problems from me that you want to use your vacation. We have to avoid that we don't have a genuine care for each other. In today's day and age, I really think that people are saying, does my boss care for me? Does my boss like me? Do they even know who I am? There's that going on. I think that there needs to be permission to say, be a human being, not a human doing. I'll give you a way that it fleshes out. You're like, well, what's a practical way of this? I'll give you two. One, when some of our staff have had loved ones dying, we're all gonna die. Death rate's 100%. But when they have like a mom or dad that's passing away from old age, I'll say, go be the son or daughter that you can be right now. You'll never have that role again. Your mom or dad will be gone, and you'll never be able to be son or daughter. Go take care of them. Let them go out of this earth with you caring for them and being there. And we've given them extra time off to be that person. We care more about who you are than what you do. In my own experience, I worked at a church where they didn't care about who we were. They drove us into the ground. I actually was in my early 20s going to the hospital in the middle of the night thinking I was having a heart attack because the church was so demanding. They said, no, you're not. You're just in an unhealthy situation. I go to a new church where the pastor cares for me. I show up, and you know what he says? First day, I'm there. I moved that weekend. I'm there first day Monday. And he's like, are all your boxes unpacked? I'm like, no, they are not. Becca's at home unpacking the boxes. He goes, leave the church right now. I'm like, did I get fired like that quick? Like over boxes? He goes, no, there's one member of this church you need to go minister to. It's Becca. Go unload the boxes, and when the house is adequately unpacked, come into work for the first day. I was like, that's amazing. He actually came over that night, that pastor, and he actually hooked up my washer and dryer for me, and he was right there in the mix with us. I got the whole house unpacked, decorated, ready to go in 2 days, and I was in on Wednesday. Man, that says we care about you more as a person than just the role that you do. Now, that was 6. I want to give you 6 more in teaching number 2 of this lesson, a life-giving leadership culture.